A young boy lies beneath a tree on a grassy hill, sunlight filtering through the leaves above him. His name is Eren Yeager, and he is dreaming, but this is not a peaceful dream. It is fragmented, violent, and emotionally overwhelming. Images flash by without explanation. Tears, destruction, people screaming, faces filled with terror and grief. Eren suddenly awakens, gasping for breath, his heart pounding. Tears stream down his face, though he does not understand why. He feels as though he has lost something precious, something far away yet unbearingly close. He wipes his eyes, confused and embarrassed. Standing before him is Mikasa Ackerman, a girl his age with short black hair and a calm but intense presence. She asks him gently why he is crying. Eren insists he wasn't crying, but Mikasa doesn't argue. She simply watches him, quietly concerned. This moment is subtle but crucial. It establishes the tone of Attack on Titan, memory, fate, time, and loss, themes that echo far beyond this episode. In the distance, towering over the landscape, are the walls. The world behind the walls, humanity, we learn, lives enclosed within massive stone walls built to protect them from extinction. Over a century ago, enormous humanoid creatures known as Titans appeared and nearly wiped out mankind. These beings are grotesque, naked giants with empty smiles and an insatiable hunger for humans. The walls, Wall Maria, Wall Rose, and Wall Sina became humanity's final refuge. For 100 years, there has not been a single Titan breach. Children have grown up believing the walls are eternal. The town of Shiganshina district, located at the outer edge of Wall Maria, is one such place. Life there is peaceful, almost dull. Merchants sell goods, children run through the streets, and people go about their routines with the complacency of those who have never seen true horror. But Eren is different. Eren Yeager, a cage called safety. Eren walks through Shiganshina with frustration burning inside him. He stares up at the massive wall looming over the town and feels suffocated rather than protected. To him, the walls are not symbols of safety but cages. He watches members of the Scout Regiment return from an expedition beyond the walls, bloodied, exhausted, and reduced in number. The townspeople mock them, calling them useless and wasteful. A drunken man insults them for sacrificing lives for nothing. Eren is furious. He idolizes the Scouts, especially their bravery and willingness to fight for freedom. He openly declares that humanity was not meant to live trapped like livestock. This earns him ridicule from adults and concern from his mother. Mikasa follows Eren closely, protecting him from bullies and watching over him like a silent guardian. Her loyalty is absolute, though her reasons remain unspoken for now. Grisha and Karli Yeager at home. Eren's parents represent two opposing worldviews. Karli Yeager, Eren's mother, wants her son to live a safe, ordinary life. She believes that surviving behind the walls is enough, that risking one's life for freedom is foolish. Grisha Yeager, Eren's father and a doctor, is distant and mysterious. He supports Eren's curiosity about the outside world but rarely explains himself. Before leaving town on a trip, Grisha gives Eren a key, an ordinary-looking key on a chain. He tells Eren that when he returns, he will show him what's hidden in the basement. Whatever is in that basement, Grisha implies, will explain everything. Eren is thrilled. He has no idea this moment will haunt him forever. The illusion shatters without warning. The ground shakes. A thunderous explosion echoes across Shiganshina. The sky darkens as steam fills the air. People look toward the gate of Wall Maria and freeze in terror. Standing above the wall is something impossible. A colossal titan, taller than the wall itself, skinless, with exposed muscle and a skull-like face. Its expression is empty, almost curious. For a moment, the world seems to stop breathing. Then it kicks. The gate of Wall Maria shatters under the Titan's foot. Debris rains down. Buildings collapse. Screams erupt everywhere. Panic spreads like fire. Hell unleashed. As smoke fills the streets, another Titan appears, a heavily armored one that charges through the inner gate, sealing Shiganshina's fate. Titans flood into the district, devouring people indiscriminately. Eren, Mikasa and Carla try to escape as Chaz erupts around them. Soldiers scramble to respond, but they are unprepared for a breach of this scale. The belief that the walls were unbreakable has crippled humanity's ability to reach. Eren watches in horror as Titans crush homes and tear people apart. The monsters smile as they eat. Some victims are swallowed whole, others are bitten in half, their screams cut short. This is not war. This is slaughter. A mother's death as the family flees. Debris from the collapsing wall crushes their home. Carla is trapped beneath the wreckage, her legs pinned and shattered. She knows immediately she cannot escape. Hanins, a local soldier and family friend, arrives and tries to help her, but when a Titan approaches, his courage collapses. Paralyzed by fear, he realizes he cannot fight. Carla makes a decision. She begs Hannes to take Eren and Mikasa and run. Eren refuses. He screams, fights and cries, insisting he won't leave her. Carla smiles through her pain and tells him to live. She tells him to protect Mikasa. She tells him not to look back. As Hannes carries the children away, Eren watches helplessly as a Titan lifts his mother and devours her. Her final words echo in his mind. The world breaks. The birth of hatred. Eren's scream is raw, animalistic. Tears stream down his face as rage replaces shock. In that moment, something fundamental changes inside him. He swears an oath. He will kill every Titan, every last one. Mikasa holds him tightly as they escape on a refugee ship. The ruins of Shiganshina are burning behind them. Smoke rises into the sky like a funeral pyre for humanity's lost peace. The camera lingers on Eren's face, no longer that of a child, but of someone who has seen the end of innocence. Ending. To you in 2,000 years. The episode closes with survivors fleeing behind the inner walls. Humanity has lost Wall Maria. 1/3 of its territory is gone. Tens of thousands are dead. The narration reminds us that day, humanity remembered the terror of being ruled by them. The dream from the beginning no longer feels like a dream. It feels like destiny. Escape from the inferno. The boat carrying refugees drifts away from Shiganshina district, its deck packed so tightly that people can barely move. Children cry for parents who will never answer. Adults stare silently at the smoke rising behind them, their faces hollow, unable to process what they've lost. Eren does not cry anymore. His eyes are fixed on the burning horizon, teeth clenched so tightly his jaw trembles. Mikasa wraps her scarf tighter around herself and around him, instinctively shielding him from the cold wind and from the world. Behind them, Wall Maria is gone. No alarms warned them, no miracle saved them. The wall humanity trusted for 100 years fell in a single moment. The collapse of a belief inside the inner territories. Panic spreads faster than the Titans ever could. Officials shout orders. Soldiers escort refugees through gates in chaotic webs. Supplies meant for years are suddenly insufficient for days. Humanity is not just physically broken, it is mentally shattered. People had built their lives on one absolute truth: the walls cannot fall. Now that lie is dead. As refugees pour into Wall Rose, resentment begins almost immediately. Citizens who lived safely inside glare at the newcomers. They whisper that these people are a burden, that they bring hunger, fear, and death with them. Eren hears it all. Every cruel word sinks into him like a blade. A world without Eren Yeager. That night, Eren sits among the refugees, staring at his hands. They are clean, too clean. His mother died screaming, and yet his hands carry no blood, no proof that it happened. The realization makes him feel sick. His chest tightens as the memory replays in his mind. Carla smiling, telling him to live, telling him not to look back. But he looked, he saw everything. Mikasa remains close, silent as always, but never distant. She hands Eren food when he forgets to eat. She stands between him and anyone who raises their voice. She watches him with quiet fear, not of Titans, but of what Eren is becoming inside. The weight of survival days pass. Bodies are counted, names are read, entire families are erased in a single sentence. The scale of the disaster becomes clear. Wall Maria is abandoned, thousands are dead, humanity has lost 1/3 of its territory. The survivors are told the truth in cold, official terms, but numbers mean nothing to Eren. All he knows is that the world stole his mother and walked away. Other children scream at night. Eren doesn't. He lies awake, staring at the dark, replaying the Titan's face over and over. That empty smile, that casual cruelty. His hatred sharpens. A child's oath one evening as refugees are herded into overcrowded shelters, Eren finally speaks. His voice is loud, shaken but unbreakable. He tells Mikasa that he will join the scout regiment, that he will leave the safety of the walls, that he will kill every Titan until none are left. Mikasa freezes. She tells him it's dangerous, that he will die, that she doesn't want to lose him too. Eren turns to her, eyes burning. If they do nothing, he says, then Carla's death meant nothing. If they hide, then the Titans win. Freedom, even if it costs everything, is the only thing worth fighting for. Mikasa says nothing more. But that night, she silently decides something of her own. Wherever Eren goes, she will follow. The key and the promise. Late at night, Eren grips the key his father gave him. The chain dives into his palm, as if trying to remind him it exists. The basement. Whatever truth lies there, it survived the fall of Shiganshina, and as long as it exists, Eren feels that his father might still be alive somewhere beyond the chaos. This key becomes more than metal. It becomes hope. The narrator's warning. The episode draws toward its close as the narrator speaks again, not with comfort, but with cruel honesty. Humanity did not defeat the Titans. Humanity did not fight back. Humanity ran. The Titans still roam freely beyond the walls, unchallenged, unstoppable, waiting, and somewhere among the refugees is a boy who has just lost everything except his rage. Final image. The end of childhood. The final shot lingers on Eren's face. No tears, no fear, only a burning, unyielding hatred. This is not the face of a victim. It is the face of someone who will change the world, for better or worse. 1 year later, a broken piece. 1 year passes after the fall of Shiganshina district. Humanity has not recovered. Behind Wall Rose, life has become a daily struggle. Farmland that once fed millions now lies abandoned beyond Titan territory. Food is rationed carefully. Hunger becomes as common as fear. Children grow thinner. Adults grow quieter. The inner government speaks of order and stability, but among the refugees, the truth is obvious. There is not enough to go around. Eren Yeager is now older, taller, sharper, harder. The rage that once burned wildly inside him has cooled into something more dangerous: focus. He has not forgotten his oath. The cruel solution. Faced with overcrowding and starvation, the government announces a reclamation of Wall Maria. They do not call it a suicide mission, but everyone understands what it truly is. Thousands of refugees are sent back beyond the walls, armed with little more than farming tools and false hope. The plan is simple. Either they die and reduce the population, or they somehow reclaim land and solve the food crisis. Eren watches the departure. He recognizes faces, people who lost everything like he did. Mothers holding children, old men pretending not to be afraid. Almost none of them return. The silence afterward is heavier than screams. Eren understands now. Humanity's greatest enemy is not just the Titans, it is desperation. Choosing the sword at age 15, Eren and Mikasa enlist in the military. For Eren, there is no hesitation. This path was decided the moment his mother died. Mikasa follows without question. The military offers 3 paths: the scout regiment, who fight Titans outside the walls; the garrison, who protect the walls; the military police, who live in comfort behind the inner walls. Eren's goal is clear. He will become a scout. The cadet course begins. Training is brutal. Recruits are pushed beyond exhaustion. Many quit within days. Some vomit, some break down crying, others freeze in fear at the thought of Titans. Eren refuses to stop. During vertical maneuvering equipment training, He fails repeatedly, unable to balance in the air. Instructors mock him. Other cadets whisper that he's hopeless. Mikasa, however, excels. She moves with terrifying precision, her body responding as if she were born for battle. Watching her only fuels Eren's determination. He will not be left behind. When Eren discovers his equipment is faulty and corrects it, he finally succeeds. He stands balanced in the air, suspended between sky and ground. For the first time since Shiganshina, he smiles. The shape of new bonds among the cadets. Eren meets others who will shape his future friends, rivals and allies. Though their stories are only beginning, one thing is clear. Everyone here carries loss. Training does not erase fear. It teaches how to move despite it. Each night, Eren grips his father's key and stares at the ceiling. The basement remains a distant promise, but it enters him, a reminder that truth still exists in a world drowning in lies. The end of Episode 1's journey. Though this portion of the story stretches beyond the immediate events of Episode 1, it completes the emotional arc that began that day. Innocence was destroyed, hatred was born, resolve was forged. Eren Yeager is no longer just a survivor. He is a weapon being sharpened by suffering. Final words. The road ahead. The narrator reminds us that humanity's fight has only just begun. The Titans still roam freely. The walls still stand, but now their safety is questioned. And beyond them waits a truth buried in a basement, locked behind a key, carried by a boy who refuses to accept the world as it is. This is not the story of how humanity survived. This is the story of how it fought back,